Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Everybody Eats. My name is Abby, and today we're going to be reviewing David Leitch's star-studded action movie, Bullet Train. David Leitch's Bullet Train is an often ugly-looking, mostly terribly paced, hot, action-packed mess of a film that somehow ends up just feeling like wasted potential. Even with the stacked cast, the overly long and convoluted script feels like a letdown when this entire endeavor might have been more impactful if it was played straight instead. Brad Pitt gives his best Ryan Reynolds impression, and there's a moment here where the writers tell you they know this as well. Brian Tyree Henry plays a Thomas the Tank Engine obsessed assassin, and Aaron Taylor Johnson plays his hard-headed brother, and Joey King plays a sociopathic murderer in disguise as a schoolgirl. On paper, this sounds like an absolute delight to see unfold on screen, but the overbearing and often terrible editing and a keen emphasis on generically juvenile humor hinder this from truly breaking the mold as an action film. Additionally, the whole film feels like a mesh of everything Leitch has done before, from John Wick to Deadpool 2 to Hobbs and Shaw. The story starts simple enough. An assassin codenamed Ladybug, played by Pitt, is down on his luck and subbing in for a mission in which she must procure a briefcase on a bullet train heading from Tokyo to Kyoto. Obviously, things don't go as planned, as numerous shady individuals are looking for the very same briefcase. What ensues is a chaotic and terribly edited first act that thankfully has enough character to keep it afloat until it finds somewhat of a footing. A huge problem here, though, is that almost all the characters sound the same. A hodgepodge of Ryan Reynolds clones constantly trying to one-up each other. And sure, there are moments of cheekiness that actually do work, but eventually it just feels like an obnoxious endeavor when the film refuses to move on. Assassin brothers Tangerine, played by Johnson, and Lemon, played by Henry, are genuinely the highlight of the film, and also manage to stand out as the emotional core within the convoluted script. Lemon, especially, provides the film with the only real character that actually sticks out. Some jokes land, many do not, and the consistency with the visual humor comes and goes, depending on how badly edited the scenes are. If I'm being honest, I love a good train movie. Unstoppable, The Darjeeling Limited, Train to Busan, Snowpiercer, and Source Code, just to name a few. Bullet Train in its entirety, though, feels like a cheap gimmick, as if the writers thought it would be funny enough to have a bunch of assassins fight on a hunk of metal going 320 kilometers an hour, and then the creativity just stops there. The bullet train fight in The Wolverine works so well because that's it. It's a singular scene. The train itself never evolves into anything more than just a backdrop in Leitch's new movie, and it feels no more integrated with the narrative by the end than when it began. Ladybug's moral conundrum feels inadequate to hit those narrative beats because he was never truly a character to begin with. Plus, the metaphor of comparing life to a speeding train never really works because of his cheap characterization in the first place. Undoubtedly, there are a couple good laughs to be had, and in many ways, this is an entirely viable watch for groups whose focus is on alcohol and not the movie at hand. Bullet Train prides itself on being a quirky, fast-paced action comedy, and though I get why, I genuinely think it would have benefited with taking more time with its setup and slowly ramping up from there. Or if it wanted to keep its head-pounding momentum, a tighter 90 minutes would have sufficed. Instead, it drags out its finale, constantly trying to one-up itself with one mediocre joke after the other. At a certain point, not too long ago, a film such as Bullet Train might have felt so fresh within the film industry, and now it just feels like another generic action endeavor that studio executives have figured out how to craft. This is a level of crowd-pleasing fare that feels no less creative to me than the majority of the MCU. Don't let the rated R sensibilities fool you. Maybe one day in the future I can revisit this and be less cynical, but for now, it's mediocre at best. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna have to give Bullet Train a 2.5 out of 5. It's not a terrible time, there's definitely some laughs to be had, but it just feels generic enough and doesn't stand out to truly break the mold when there's so many other action films that do what it does, but much better. I would say though that this film is definitely worth a watch, and for many who don't watch too many films within the year, this might just quench that action comedy feeling that they're searching for. So yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments below if you've seen it already. Thanks for watching, everybody. My name is Abby. This was Everybody Eats. We have a lot more interviews, podcasts, and videos coming soon, so stay tuned.